Good morning, everyone. I hope you did very well with your progress test too. Now we are going to move on to our lesson, and in this video, we are going to study the new unit of your blueprint book, which is the lesson 5. And the title of the lesson 5 is "It Very Painful." This video lesson you can find more information on your course book, which is on page 44 and 45. So now let's see what we are going to learn from this video in these sessions. So the first things, we are going to review what we have learned on Monday class, which is about the empty it and that clause. And for the second activity, we are going to study our new lesson, which start by a short conversations. And for the third one, you are going to study some useful vocabulary. And also the fourth part, which is about the body part, you will learn and see some vocabulary related to your body part. Last but not least, which is the grammar focus, you will learn the intensifier. In this video, you will be able to give the definitions of what intensifier is, and you will know why you need to use intensifiers. So without any further ado, let's start with our revision, which is about the language structure from the previous unit that you have studied on your Monday class. So the structure, which is it is plus adjective, and we can use it plus the that clause. So for this structure, you can use to give suggestion, you can use to state the rules, and you can use this structure in order to give your own recommendations. If you look at the example, it is required that you wear school uniform. So this sentence is the rule which is about the school uniform. And if you look at the structure here, we have it is and require is an adjective, that is the that clause, you wear school uniform is the clause. Okay. In order to use this structure, you need to use the adjective which show suggestion, which show about the rule, and also the recommendation. So here are some useful phrase and adjective that you can use. For example, here we have the word recommended, we have the word necessary, we have the word importance. And also you can use this structure in order to talk about your own opinions. You can use this structure to talk about your own opinions. So for this one, you can say it is great that he is eating healthy food. So to use this structure in order to express your opinion, you need to use an adjective which used to describe the opinions. We have the word good, nice, be better, so on and so forth. Let's say it is good that you come early. So all of these are the structure that you can use to talk about your opinion. And be careful with the adjective. Okay, so let's moving on to another part, which is the new lesson of our video, which is the lesson 5. It is very painful. So to start the lesson, let us listen to the short conversation of this lesson together. So here.
Track 22. What's the matter, Miguel? Did you hurt your shoulder?
Yeah, I tried to lift that 40-kilogram weight pretty fast. I guess that wasn't smart. It really hurts.
Uh-oh. Can you lift your arm?
Yeah, I can, but it's very painful.
Okay, then stop moving it. It might get even worse. I'll get a bandage. Then you'd better go home and put ice on it.
Is that necessary? Maybe the pain will stop.
No, it's possible that it's a serious injury. Rest the arm and take some pain relievers. If it isn't a lot better after 3 days, you'll need to see a doctor.
Okay, that's it for the conversation. So after you listen to the conversation, As you can hear, it's about the injuries, it's about how you treat your injuries. It is related to some things that could badly happen when you do exercise. When you do exercise, your body can hurt, right? So there are a lot of ways that you can prevent that. To be careful when you are doing exercise. But in these conversations, as you can see, the people in these conversations, they are talking about how they can relieve the pain when they have an injuries. In this listening, there are some useful vocabulary for you to know and to learn as well. So these are the vocabulary. Some of them are very easy for you. For example, like the word shoulder, you already know this word. It is from the beginner level. However, some words are a little bit used. So let's explore all the words together. So the word shoulder, it is the upper part of your arm. We call shoulder. The other word, which is serious, and this word functions as an adjective. It used to describe something that is possibly dangerous. If you look at the example, this sport is very serious to play, which means it can be dangerous. It can be very dangerous to play. So serious can mean dangerous as well. Another word, which is painful, which is the title of the lesson. So painful refers to something that causes to hurt. When you have an injury, that injury is painful, which means it causes you to hurt. So look at the example. It is very painful to get injured during my workout sessions. And the other word, which is put, and you already understand the meaning of this word, but pay attention to how you use it in your conversation or in your written form. So put is the verb that need two things after it. So what are they? They are a direct object and adverb or prepositional phrase of location. What you can say is, I put ice on my shoulder, which is the complete sentence. You cannot say, I put ice. It makes no sense. And the last word for this conversation, it is a pain reliever. So pain reliever, or we call a painkiller, which is the medicines that you take in order to stop the pain from your bodies. And this one is the last one. We call it bandage. So when you get cut or you get injuries, you go to the hospital and they want to stop the bleedings. So they wrap around the bandage. So bandage refer to medical things that used in order to wrap around their injuries. Okay, so all of these are the vocabulary about body parts. As you can see, there are a lot of words that you can learn from your bodies. We have the word eyebrow, forehead. We have the word stomach. So be careful with this word. Some people pronounce stomach or something, but it is wrong. You should pronounce stomach. It's the right way to pronounce this word. Again, stomach. Okay. Most people confuse with the word food and the word feed. Okay. As you know, the word food is the singular verb, and feed refer to both food, which is the plural words. This one is elbow. We have wrist. Okay, wrist here. We have finger, bottom, heel. Okay, all of these words related to your body, and I assume that from your previous level you have learned all of these words already. So just look at it and as a review. Now moving on to the last part, and it is also the important part of our video lesson, which is about intensifier. So what is intensifier? If you look at the three examples here, the house is big, the soup is salty, rock climbing is difficult. These are simple sentences with no intensifier. And if you look at another example here, the house is really big, the soup is a little salty, rock climbing is quite difficult. You can see the difference between the first and the second example here, because the second example here they use the intensifier in order to show the degree of adjective. As you can see here, when we say their house is big, we don't know how big it is, right? But when we say their house is really big, we emphasize the adjective big. The soup is a little salty, which means it's not very badly salty, but it's just a little bit. The rock climbing is quite difficult. It's not really difficult that no one have never done that, but it's just a little bit or quite difficult. So these are called intensifier. So the purpose or the use of the intensifier in your sentence, mostly we use to make the meaning of the adjective stronger or clearer. Sometimes you want to emphasize how big, how small, how great or how painful something is. You need to add the intensifier to show the degree of those things. So here are some useful or common intensifier that you can use in front of the adjective to show the level of those adjectives. We have a little bit, a bit, a little, or slightly. This intensifier on this side, which show not very strong. And in the middle, we have fairly, quite, pretty, rather. They are only 50%. They add the meanings to the adjective 50%. And really, very, so, extremely, which means they show the highest level of the adjective. And if we say it is extremely big, which means it is the biggest things. You can also use intensifier in comparing things. So look at the structure here. My elbow feel a lot better now. So a lot better. So a lot is an intensifier. Better is the comparative adjective. So you can use this intensifier in front of this comparative adjective. It's even hotter today than yesterday. Again, the word even is also an intensifier which emphasizes the comparative adjective hotter. He is so much taller than his brother. So much is also the intensifier we use to emphasize the word or the comparative adjective taller. However, when you use these intensifier a bit, a little, and so, you need to be careful because all of these intensifier cannot be in front of adjective plus noun. They can only be used in front of adjective alone. If you look at the example, it's a pretty expensive gym, which is the right way because we have intensifier, we have adjective, and we have noun, and our intensifier is the word pretty. However, if you look at the word it's a bit expensive, we have the word a bit, which is the intensifier. So as you can see here, the intensifier a bit, a little, and so cannot be used in front of adjective plus noun. So this is the correct way. However, the last example is a bit confusing exercise, which is we have the word a bit, which is the intensifier, confusing is an adjective, and exercise is the noun, which is wrong based on our rule. For these three intensifier, you cannot use with adjective plus noun. Just remember that a bit, a little, and so can only be used with the adjective. Let's say it's so boring. Okay, you cannot say it's so boring movie. There's never appear such a phrase like that. So everyone, seems like it is quite a long video since we have a lot of slides for you to learn. Before we end the first session, I would like to recap what we have learned from this video today. So the first things that you have learned is to use the empty it and that close structure in order to talk about suggestions, recommendations, rule or opinions, and you also listen to the model conversations about it's very painful, and along the way you can learn some of the useful vocabularies, and you also look at a short poster about the body part. Last but not least, you also learn what intensifier is and how to use intensifier in your sentence. So everyone, that's it for our video lesson today, and see you again in the second sessions. Goodbye.